Once upon a time, in a quaint village surrounded by dense forests and rolling hills, there lived a girl named FURO. Her beauty was legendary, rivaling even that of her mother, who had once been the most sought-after maiden in the village. FURO's mother had chosen her father, a humble but kind-hearted man, over even the village prince, a decision that had left many in awe. FURO grew up adored by all, her radiant smile and gentle nature making her the pride of the village. But FURO's life was not without its mysteries. One fateful afternoon, as she returned from the stream with a clay pot balanced on her head, she encountered something that would change her life forever. A giant snake, its scales glistening like polished emeralds, emerged from the bushes, its unblinking eyes fixed on her. FURO froze, her heart pounding like a drum. The snake slithered closer, its movements graceful yet menacing. Just as it came within arm's reach, FURO screamed, her voice echoing through the forest. When she opened her eyes, the snake was gone, leaving only the rustling leaves in its wake. Trembling, FURO ran home, her mind racing with questions. Her mother comforted her, brushing her hair and whispering soothing words. "It was just a snake, my dear. You are safe now," her mother said. But FURO couldn't shake the feeling that the snake was more than it seemed. In the weeks that followed, strange occurrences began to unfold. One day, as FURO walked through the forest, she nearly stepped on a venomous scorpion. Before she could react, the giant snake appeared, hissing loudly to warn her. Another time, a heavy tree branch crashed to the ground just inches from where she stood, only for her to see the snake coiled nearby, its eyes watching her intently. Each time, the snake vanished before she could speak to it, leaving FURO both grateful and unnerved. One night, FURO had a vivid dream. She saw herself as a snake, slithering through the forest alongside the giant serpent. She woke in a cold sweat, her heart racing. When she told her mother about the dream, her mother dismissed it as a mere trick of the mind. But FURO couldn't ignore the growing connection she felt to the mysterious creature. One evening, as FURO gathered firewood in the forest, the snake appeared again. This time, it didn't vanish. Instead, it led her to a hidden cave, its dark entrance shrouded in vines. FURO hesitated, her courage faltering, and ran back home. Unbeknownst to her, a village maiden named Fifi had witnessed the encounter. Fifi, envious of FURO's beauty and popularity, spread rumors that FURO had dark powers and could control snakes. The whispers spread like wildfire, and soon the villagers began to regard FURO with suspicion and fear. Despite the rumors, a young farmer named Tamuno, who had long admired FURO, asked for her hand in marriage. FURO, who had grown fond of Tamuno, accepted. The village prepared for the wedding, and FURO's heart swelled with hope for a happy future. But on the day of the ceremony, as the villagers gathered to celebrate, the giant snake appeared, its massive form slithering into the midst of the crowd. Chaos erupted as people fled in terror. Tamuno, pale and trembling, abandoned FURO without a word. Heartbroken and ostracized, FURO left the village to live with her godmother, Ibn, in a neighboring town. Ibn listened intently as FURO recounted her encounters with the snake. "That creature is a curse," Ibn declared. "We must destroy it before it ruins your life completely." Together, FURO and Ibn returned to the forest, armed with a knife and a resolve to end the snake's reign of terror. They found the snake sleeping in its cave, its massive body coiled like a mountain. FURO raised the knife, her hands trembling, but as she brought it down, the snake awoke. Its sudden movement startled her, and she accidentally cut her hand. Her blood dripped onto the snake's scales, and in an instant, the creature began to transform. Its emerald scales dissolved into smooth human skin, and where the snake had been, there now stood a girl who looked exactly like FURO. FURO gasped, her mind reeling. The girl smiled softly, her eyes filled with both sadness and relief. "I am your twin sister," she said. "We were born together, but I was cursed to live as a snake. Our mother abandoned me in the forest, fearing what the villagers would think." Overwhelmed, FURO ran home to confront her mother. With tears in her eyes, her mother confessed the truth. When you were born, there were two of you, but one came out as a snake. I was afraid, so I left her in the forest. I never thought she would survive, let alone return to us. FURO and her mother returned to the forest, where they found FURO's twin sister and Eben. But Eben was no longer herself. She laughed maniacally, her eyes wild. "I did this," she cried. "I cursed your mother out of jealousy. I wanted her to suffer, but I never imagined the curse would take this form." FURO's twin sister explained that she had protected FURO all these years, saving her from danger and even intervening to stop her marriage to Tamuno, who had only sought to marry her as part of a cruel bet with his friends. "I couldn't let you suffer," she said. "You are my sister, and I love you." Tears streamed down FURO's face as she embraced her twin. "I'm so sorry for everything you've endured," she whispered. "You are not a curse. You are my family." The villagers, once fearful and suspicious, were awestruck by the truth. They welcomed FURO's twin sister into the village, and the two sisters became inseparable. FURO's heart, once heavy with sorrow, now overflowed with joy and gratitude. She had not only found her other half, but also learned the power of love, forgiveness, and the unbreakable bond of family. Moral of the story: jealousy and malice can lead to pain and regret, but love and forgiveness have the power to heal even the deepest wounds. True happiness comes from embracing those who care for us and letting go of the darkness that seeks to divide us.